My name's Carolyn Brand, and this workshop is one of my portfolio workshops. It's called Unstoppable You. It's about building a brand that gets you what you deserve. The focus today is more on the professional identity and the professional brand. Now, some people say, should my personal brand be different to my professional brand? Well, we are in a different environment, but ideally they are aligned at some stage. My passion, my motivation is about empowering individuals to look at their personal brand from a professional point of view, inspiring authentic leadership and their professional identity from an authentic side, from a vulnerable side, and from a true side, because that is where it is sustainable. I've got over 30 years of experience. I've been working in this environment for the last 5 years. Up until then, I worked in big global corporations, engineering, high tech, and very male dominated. So it's not just what I've learned as a coach or as a strategic advisor. I've been there, I've done that. I've got the glory, the tears, and the scars as well. So the workshop flow today, it's defining your professional identity. Now, you'll all already have a professional identity. And as Liz said, some of you said, yes, I think I have a personal brand. And some people are very confident, yeah, I have a personal brand. So even if you have a professional identity or you're not sure what it is, the purpose of this is to actually help you to look at it and to assess it, because it's not something we should do just once. And also, as we grow in our career, or maybe we change our career, it's always good to step back and say, am I still true to myself? Am I still true to what I really believe in and what I want to do and the impact that I want to create? It's also about reframing and empowering presence and visibility. So actually how to present yourself and be visible. And I don't just mean to be able to be the loudest in the room or to be the one who's always standing up and saying, look how great I am. But visibility and presence can be achieved without even saying a word. And purpose in action, how to play it forward. So personal branding, imposter syndrome, empowering professional identity can take a lot of time to go into. So this is really the tip of the iceberg, perhaps not the full tip in 1 hour, but hopefully it will give you something to start with or to build on what you've already got. One thing that I always tell myself and remind myself, and I like to share this with everybody, confidence isn't about never doubting yourself. It's about acting despite the doubt. What do I mean by that? I'm sure you've all had the occasions where you've looked at somebody and going, how do they always come over so confident? And maybe I wish I could be as confident or more confident in this situation or like that person. Now, they may not be confident. They may not have found it easy. Confidence isn't something that's easy for anybody. Confidence, when you're in your comfort zone, is easier. It's top level confidence, it's external confidence. But when you really go deep into your confidence, it's when you can act despite your doubt outside of your comfort zone, in your growth, using your voice, stepping forward, challenging yourself, challenging the norm, making changes. And this is what it's about. Confidence is something we've all got. There isn't such a thing as people being more confident than others. It's how people act despite doubting themselves and maybe that lack of confidence in certain situations. Now, what challenges do we face, women face, and this is not just women, but this is more for women in the professional environment that sometimes emphasizes when we have those days where we doubt ourselves, where we question, am I in the right place? Am I actually doing this job? Imposter syndrome. Do I belong here? Can I grow? Can I step forward? And one of them is the confidence gap. And this is something that I think men really excel on. And this is not judgment. This is something that they're very, very good at, the majority of men, is they will look at a job or a project and they'll apply when they meet 60% of the qualifications. And this comes from a study. This is not just me saying this. Women, we generally apply if we meet 80% or more. So why is that? Well, if anybody knows anybody who works in HR or recruitment, you go and ask if you apply when you're 80, 90%. When a leader is actually looking to employ somebody, they'll say, where's your growth? Where's your challenge? So it's actually good to apply when you've got less than 80%, around that 60. Obviously, there's key items which they always want. If you want to apply to be a brain surgeon, you've obviously got to be a doctor. But there are some items that you can learn on the job, or transferable skills. A lot of people underestimate the power of transferable skills. We're looking for something exact. Bias in performance evaluation. Now, this is very recent, and I find this a little bit sad that still women are 1 in 4 times more likely to receive subjective feedback on our personality, on our communication style, on you smile too much, you're too nice, you're too kind, you're too pushy, you're too dominant, you don't smile enough, you're not very approachable, sometimes you can act a little bit crazy, and you're not visible enough, people don't know who you are. And it's more about our communication style rather than constructive feedback, objective feedback, which is what we can work on. So if somebody says to you in the future, I'm not visible enough, ask them for them to give you exact places where you're not visible enough and how to address that. And then the other one is the proving pressure. This is where it comes from us. 70% of women or non-alpha male feel that they need to work harder and constantly prove themselves because of their gender or of societal beliefs. Like, who said every man has to be an alpha extrovert and needs to know what they need to do? No, not everybody does. Who said leaders have to be alphas and can't be nice and can't have emotional intelligence? Nobody says that. But we feel that we have to prove ourselves. And this ongoing pressure can lead to overperformance, burnout, reduced confidence in claiming our leadership space, and also feeling guilty if we need to have a work-life balance, or take that time off to deal with family issues, take that time off to be able to go to the doctors. I'm coaching somebody at the moment who needs to have an operation, and she's putting it off for over a year because she's saying, I can't take sick leave. What will they think of me if I take sick leave? Maybe somebody else will come in and take my job because they can do it better than I can. So this is the proving pressure. And what I'd invite us all, and this is where I call it the ripple effect, reframing from hesitation to bold action. And the more we do it, the more we help other people follow suit. Instead of thinking, I'll wait for confidence before making my move, how about I'll take action? Because that's how confidence is built. You become more confident the more you do something, the more you take action. If you're learning the guitar, the first time you pick up the guitar, you're not going to be that confident. But once you've played the guitar maybe for 10 years, you're very confident in picking it up. But it took that first action to pick up that guitar, pick up that tennis racket, drive that car. I'm not clear on my next step. What if you take the next step, even a small step, and clarity follows to say, wrong step, right step, I'm going the right way, but it could be better. I need more time to figure things out. What if nano actions, small actions, gives you that clarity? Then waiting, more than waiting ever could, because the waiting game can be a never-ending game. Then the other one, I'm waiting for the aha moment when everything comes together. What if just by taking those small actions, using those small ideas in small steps, you get that ha moment? Now, have any of you ever had the situation where you're driven by perfectionism? You've got an idea, you've got a concept, you've got something that could potentially address an issue or provide growth for the company, for the team issues, or for whatever. And then you're sitting there and you're thinking it and you're going over in your mind and you question, is this right? Should I do it? Should I put it forward? And then somebody comes in and they put the idea forward. I've got an idea. It needs more work, but it could potentially address this, but it needs a lot of development. I want to test it with you. Shall we continue looking at that? And you go, that's exactly what I've been thinking about for the last 6 months. What's the difference? You're driven by perfectionism and waiting for it all to click together, where the other person, even with doubt, has taken that step to put it forward and not saying this will provide all the answers. This is a potential solution. It needs more work. Are we willing to look into it? That's the difference from refraining from hesitation to bold action. So my wish for you in this short 1 hour is for you to have a reframed, empowered mindset. If there's anything that you have doubt in, to help you provide that clarity and quieten your imposter syndrome. We never get, I have imposter syndrome. I had it for 25 years. I didn't even realize I had it. But now I don't ignore it. I manage it. When it appears, I know when to put it to bed. I know how to keep it silent so I don't doubt myself. A purpose statement, part of your personal brand that really feels aligned with you authentically and helps you drive from within. A message that reflects this authenticity and helps you position yourself for visibility and impact in your professional environment, wherever you want to go. Maybe you want to stay where you are. Maybe you want to change. Maybe you're looking for new opportunities. Maybe you're looking for additional responsibilities, whatever you want to do. And a bold commitment for yourself, from yourself, to help you step forward with an intention. One intention at the end of this hour could just help you take that bold step that's holding you back. What I'd like to do, though, before we move forward, is because this is the middle of a business day, is I'd like to do a little mind clearing exercise. And just for 1 minute, I'd like you all to get comfortable. If you've got email switched on, double screen, everything, switch that all off. Don't get distracted. I want you to be able to take this time for you. You've taken the time to sign up and show up today. This is your time. And I want you to clear your mind that you can take this 60 minutes and really invest in yourself. However you want to sit, feet on the floor. I always find it's good. Feet on the floor, well balanced, hands balanced on your legs, folded arms, however you feel comfortable. If you close your eyes, that's good. If you don't close your eyes, that's fine. And I want you to take 1 or 2 breaths, intentional breaths. So who here has a personal brand? Get your personal brand, check into it, and then grow and develop it. Because personal brand, it's like a growth strategy. It's not something you should do once and put it away and not think about it. It's a continuous, it's a growth thing. It's continuous. And I always use mine as my compass. So on those days when I don't feel confident, I have the imposter syndrome, I use it as a check-in and a compass to say, am I still right on the right path? And if not, how did I lose my way and how did I get back? And that's excellent. So it's good that some of you have said yes, some of you not sure, some of you have maybe not quite. Now, you'll probably all be surprised to hear, or maybe not, that actually you all have a personal brand. But the difference is from people like myself and Liz, we have worked on our personal brand. We have an idea on who we are, and maybe it's more than an idea. The rest of you that are saying, unsure, no, never really thought about it, do I really need one? You have a personal brand, but other people have branded you. And what does that mean? That means other people have made a judgment, have made a decision about who you are. I'm talking professionally, who you are professionally, what your purpose is, what you're good at, what you're not good at, and how they remember you. And you haven't influenced that, because a personal brand is important. Why is it important? Brand is important for anything and anybody. If you think about yourself as an asset for whether you work for yourself, for your clients, if you work for a company, your company, and also the stakeholders of your company, you bring value with you as a person, your skill set, your behaviors, your mindset, and everything. Therefore, you've put a lot of effort into this. So you should be branding yourself. Two, now whether you like Jeff Bezos or not is not my favorite person. However, one thing that I really resonate that he says is your brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. Now, some people have a negative brand and they thrive on that. They want that negative brand. They want people to talk about. That's what they do. But what I'm talking about here, though, is your professional brand. So this is the difference where, say we have Maria who works in finance. She's quiet, she's an introvert, but she's really good at what she does. But she hasn't got a personal brand. So she holds back. She doesn't show up, drive, and show the impact that she delivers as that financial analyst. So when people don't remember her, or maybe she's not visible enough, or maybe when this new project's coming up and they're talking about we need a really good financial analyst to actually help this move forward, Maria's name might not even come up. Her direct leader might put her forward, but everyone, Maria? No, I've never. Who is Maria? And a personal brand is not for those loud, extrovert, unbashful people. It's for everybody. Working in large corporations, I didn't even know you needed a personal brand. I started my career a long time ago, and the only people I had as role models were these alpha technical men that just got things done. It was an engineering operational environment, and I grew up in a male environment. Everything was male, and that's all I had around me. So I thought, okay, I just need to be an alpha male. If I have all those traits, I will succeed. And that's what I did for 23 years. And up to a certain point, I did succeed until overperformance, burnout, questioning, and I just collapsed. And I started to literally dislike myself. And I did a journey to get away from that. And this is when my key takeaway came up, is personal branding. It's not about your performance. It's not about alignment, authenticity, and showing up with intention. It is about those. But what it is you decide who you are, and that matches how you show up and how you lead. And that's when real impact happens. It's like I said before, somebody asked for examples. You've got the positive brands and you've got the negative brands. So, for example, let me think of some famous people to make this easier. So, Michelle Obama, right? So she actually said that she held back on her brand, her own personal brand, when she was the first lady, because she was there to support her husband's brand and help him move forward. But she was still authentic to herself behind the scenes. But as soon as she had the opportunity, that's when she started showing up, aligning with herself and what she does today, which is charity, African women, growth for women, and being true to herself. So that's one example. But as I go through the items, then hopefully that will become a bit clearer. And when I looked at when I went through this breakdown and burnout, left my career after 23 years, left my corporate, my pension, my car, everything, and just said, right, I'm starting, I don't know where, but I just need to leave this environment. I went into coaching, career coaching. I had growth coach. I did so many different things, and they all kept saying, "What do you want?" And I just kept coming out with the norm. And then they were like, "Well, why did you leave that company? Because that's what you had." And I'm like, and I couldn't answer it. I couldn't answer. Why did I leave? That's what I'm saying, what I want. But is it really what I want? Or is it what I think I have to want? Or what society wants me to want? Or because I've put 23 years into that? And that's when then I was like, okay, well, maybe I should ask myself a different question. What do I want to be remembered by? What impact do I want to have when I'm no longer here? The last chapter. How do I want to be remembered professionally, personally, by my children, grandchildren, if I hopefully have them one day? What do I want to say? Do I want them to say she was a kick-ass corporate executive who, when she walked into the room, people listened to her, and she sometimes walked away and felt great if she could make those alpha men question themselves? Or do I want to be known for something more impactful, more positive, more of a trailblazer, more of challenging the norm, more of helping, empowering people? And it was the latter. And then I was like, okay, but I am the right person to do that. And this is when I went to my persona. And I was like, if I want to achieve that, who do I need to be? What do I need to be? And am I that person? And this is how the journey, this is what I went through for about a year and a half. Lots of tears, lots of questioning myself. And when I stepped back after this journey, I realized I'd gone through this four pillars of persona, purpose, positioning, and presence that actually helped me move forward after that 1.5 years of being totally lost and burnt out and really questioning whether I should have left my corporate career, but not being confident to actually want to go back either, or not being happy enough to want to go back. And this is what a personal brand is about. It's about your unique story, the essence of who you are, your identity. And we tend to lose that as we move forward, as we grow, as we mold a little bit into society or what we think we need to be. The purpose, this is the heartbeat, this is the fuel of, so if you think of yourself in an engine, this is what drives you. And if you haven't got that fuel, then you won't be driven. The impact you want to create, the values that keep you anchored, your positioning. So how do you step in to communicate your value clearly, strategically? And it's the bridge between who you are and the opportunities you want. Now, I'm talking professional brand now, right? So, but sometimes professional, personal, they come together. For me, I've managed them now where they're actually all as one. And then my presence, your presence, is the energy, the voice, the visibility, how you hold the space, how you're remembered, and how you embody that inner confidence, not that outer confidence, before you even say a word. So let's go into this a little bit deeper. I'm looking at the clock now to make sure. I've got some work that I'd like you to do that will help you to work these out. So persona, where self-awareness meets intention. When you define how you want to be perceived. So don't think about how should I be perceived. How do you want to be perceived? Who are you? How do you want to be perceived, and lean into it? And then you can start to shape your professional identity with purpose. And so who are you showing up as today? I'm going a bit fast through this. Are you sending mixed messages? Have a think about this. Are you giving or are you using a clear, confident brand that opens the doors? As project manager, are you working in the company where people approached you and say, you're expert at this, I need your advice on this? Or are you the ones like, why am I not asked to pick up these new projects? Do you work for yourself? Are your customers and clients putting you forward because they're like confident person, knows what they're doing. Your brand is opening the doors and other people are opening the doors for you. Are you a go-to executor? Are you the one that does all the work but not necessarily the visible leader? Are you hiding behind a polished mask? Are you holding back from being authentic? Some people think authenticity and vulnerability is a show of weakness. In fact, it's the opposite. Or are you showing up with real impact? Are you quietly working in the background, waiting for the ha-ha moment, waiting to be recognized? Or are you inspiring others? Are you inspiring others to follow your lead? So how do you want to be seen and remembered? How do you want to be seen and remembered? The persona you are. 3 words. What 3 words do I want to be known for? Could you choose 3 words of this table? Not from each column, just 3 words. Don't think about it too much. Just 3 words that really jump out on you and write them down. So this is what I use as my persona anchor. As I said, I use my personal brand as my compass. I want to be seen as bold, compassionate, and strategic. I'm still bold. I'm still strategic. I am an extrovert. I am unbashful, but I'm somebody who wants to inspire others to lead with courage and clarity. So this is how I turn my words into my persona anchor, to remind myself this is who I am. And by reminding myself this is who I am, really inside me, this is how I want to show up every day. And this is the person that I lost weight for, that I didn't know who I was molded in a different way, because no criticism, but that's how I thought I needed to be. I needed to become somebody else to succeed in the large corporate environment. Now, what I want you to do is, you don't need to do it now because of the time, but I'd like you to take your word. What do you want to be seen as? Those words. It can be 3, it can be 5. Normally 3 is a good one. And someone who and what with those words. So you can say inspire others to lead with courage and clarity. You could write it, but this is your persona anchor, and this is the start of your personal brand. Don't move from this one to purpose until you have your persona. So but I started with my last chapter, which I recommend, it's the last one, the last chapter, professionally and also personally for me. How do I want to be remembered when I'm no longer here? Am I that person to achieve that? And I went deep into my persona, my characteristics and everything. And I also realized I created some characteristics and behaviors that I wasn't so proud of. Okay. And also I have some examples here that you can look at. So to give you some inspiration, I have it for technical expert, thought leader, product leader, engineering, and then for bonus for anybody who wants to break barriers and be more of a visionary leader. So I'm going to move on. So hopefully you've got your 3 words, and then we go to your purpose. Our purpose, what drives us, the fuel. I like to say this is the fuel through our engine that keeps us going, that makes us jump out, well, maybe not jump out of bed, but get out of bed in the morning and say, yeah, today I'm going to achieve this, I'm going to do this, or even I'm going to have a serene day, but I feel good in myself. And this is the ripple effect. Because the more you show up with your purpose, the more you can inspire others as well, which is it's the legacy you leave behind. So what defines you? What lights that fire within you? Also on this, sometimes it's what puts that fire out. And that's a good exercise when you're looking at this purpose. This is what I love to do. We all have those jobs that we don't like to do, like accounting and finances, unless you love finances and, the admin side. But what do you love to do? And what change or impact do you want to create professionally? What change or impact do you want to create professionally? So it could be from a project management point of view. You want to do something use it in something that's more of a positive change. I don't know. So your purpose activation, what drives you? What impacts do you want to create? Why do you do what you do? Or why do you want to do what you want to do? Another way, this is in your workbook. So moving forward from that, the sentence is, I'm driven to impact using this skill, characteristic, knowledge for which audience? Because at the end of this, you're going to end up with 4 sentences. One's for your persona, one's for your purpose, one's for your position, and one's for your presence. And literally, it's not even the full foundation, it's the start, it's setting the seed. And your purpose statement could end up looking like this. This is mine. I'm driven to create meaningful impact by combining personal branding strategies, authentic leadership coaching for women who want to elevate their careers. So that's one of my purpose statements. And there's examples. And I'd like you to think about that, building on your persona to complete those. And there's some examples which you'll get. Then positioning. So how, like we said, personal brand is you influence how people remember you. You influence how people recognize the value you deliver, the impact you deliver professionally, and also how they recommend you. So you define and communicate your unique value as that trusted expert, as that trusted project manager, and how you constantly show up so people know what you stand for. So you may want to be that project manager who is really good at when you've got the strategic projects that maybe are failing, and you go in and you sort them out, or the project manager who can set it up from the conceptual phase, or the project manager that can do any type of project, or the technical project. It's up to you. This can be used to help you define what type of program manager you want to be. So, and communicate that value, how you can differentiate yourself from others in your professional field. Because if you've all gone through the same qualifications and you've got similar experience, if you turned up to take over a project, what would make you different? Why should they choose you? And how do you want others to describe you when you're not in the room, to recommend you, to introduce you? And this is what I call the purpose that you have. The purpose statement helps and fuels your positioning because it helps you define your why and your how. It helps you to define how you can best position yourself and turn that internal clarity into external impact. I help who achieve what by how. My example is I help women leaders build authentic personal brands by guiding them through strategic storytelling. So I help them come up with their story, with their book, looking at their past, present, and their future, using their persona, using their purpose, using their position, and using their presence, using everything about them. So they're remembered, their story is remembered. And there's some examples there. So mine is I empower women to own their voice, grow with inner confidence by turning their stories into powerful, authentic personal brands that position them to be led and be seen. Presence and visibility. As I said before, present isn't about being the loudest in the room or being that extrovert. It's about showing up with clarity, ownership, and grounded confidence, the inner confidence, the root confidence. And this is your presence, the energy. Now, everybody has energy. Some people show it differently. We have quiet, serene energy. We have more of the passionate, active energy. We have the confident energy. It's up to you. Your energy is your choice. But it's how you use that to communicate and live your brand in visible ways, whether it's speaking or not speaking, that people trust you and they're confident in you, the aura you give even without words. That creates trust, credibility, and influence. Visibility of work and impact across all the touch points, and how you engage and reinforce your personal brand and values. So it's how you show up. And how do you want people to experience you when you walk into a room? This is a question for you. It's in the workbook. How do you want people to experience you when you walk into a room? Without even speaking. How do you want, think about that. How do you want them to experience? Think of those words you used before as your persona. So we had the words that said like confidence, empowering, visible, all those words. How do you want people to experience you using those words when you walk in the room? For me, the persona words and how you use them in the presence, they're like the bookends of your personal brand. Because if you don't get your persona words right, your presence won't be right to achieve what you want to achieve. So your presence and your persona is the very important start, and it's the very important finish. So think to yourself, what's one thing you downplay or minimize about yourself or your work? Are you one of those people, if somebody gives you praise, you go, yeah, okay, it actually wasn't that difficult. What are you doing by saying that? You're downplaying the skills and knowledge that you've accumulated to do that. Maybe it wasn't challenging for you at that time, but when you started doing it, maybe 4 years ago, 5 years ago, it was, and you've worked on it so much, now it's not so much of a challenge. It's actually something you can do quite easily and with confidence. And also by doing that, the other person is saying, wow, I've come to give you a compliment. And we're not good at receiving feedback or even giving feedback. It might make that other person think, well, I'm not going to bother in future. So if somebody comes and gives you praise, that was a job well done, take it for the work you've done. Thanks. Yeah, it was good, wasn't it? Or are you one of those people, it wasn't me, it was the team? No, you're part of the team. Say, yes, thank you. We did a good job as a team. I'll pass on your remarks. What does this do if you downplay or minimize yourself? First of all, you don't show up as the true value you give. Secondly, you're not actually receiving good feedback. You're not encouraging feedback, and you might not get comfortable with feedback. So you don't actually then be able to pass on the good input to other people who maybe supported you. So think about one thing you downplay or minimize about yourself or your work. Do you hold back when somebody gives you a compliment about good work? Do you hold back in meetings? Do you hold back from ideas? Do you hold back from giving a solution? Do you hold back from those difficult but needed critical discussions? I'm ready to own and amplify what's your hidden or minimized strength that you're holding back on, that's not underpinning the great professional that you are, your personal brand. Write that down, think about it, so I can show up with greater the positive impact or the quality you want to deliver for the audience, the team, the context, or even just for yourself. Before we move on what we've gone through, we've got 10 minutes So reframe the thought, reclaim the room. So instead of thinking, I don't want to say the wrong thing, what if you say something imperfect and it's better than staying silent? I'm not going to go through all of these. What if they don't take me seriously? How about what if you take yourself seriously and then you just let the rest follow? That's reframing. And then with showing up to show the value or the impact you deliver, people say, I don't want to be I don't want to seem like I'm bragging. I don't want to seem arrogant. I don't want to seem big-headed. It's not bragging. By doing it, you're showing others what's possible. You're sharing your knowledge and expertise, and you're encouraging others to show up and share their impact and the value they deliver as well. I'm worried I'll come across as too much. What if too much is exactly what's needed to solve that issue, to create that impact? So that's the presence and visibility reframing. As I said, this is the tip of the iceberg, and I'm going really quick now. And if it was in a person workshop, this would be a lot slower and it wouldn't be compacted in 60 minutes. The 4 Ps are your persona, purpose, position, and presence. And by bringing these 4 Ps together, just that one statement for each P, you'll have your initial one-aligned, powerful personal brand to underpin your presence. And how do you play that forward? Well, this is how you can step into your bolder personal brand and your authentic personal identity. It's those 4 statements that you've got in your workbook. I am those 3 powerful words. I lead with your purpose. What is your purpose? You may have 1 or 2, maybe 1. It's up to you what you write down. Start with 1. I want to be known for what impact? I want to be experienced as your presence when you enter a room, when you're in a room. So a little bit of homework, write down those 4 sentences, complete them. And that's the start of you stepping into your bolder professional self authenticity using your powerful personal brand. So I have one more action for you. This is an accountability statement. What is your next bold move, and how will I show up differently in my next conversation, meeting, or decision? What's one way I'll start living and leading from my personal brand, boldly, visibly? How will I use my authentic voice to influence, inspire, or impact others? Or something else. What is it? It's called an I will statement. I would like you to write down what's your next move, bold move. And when I mean bold, I don't mean like go and climb Mount Everest. A bold move for me is even a small nano step, something you're not doing today. For whatever reason, to me, you start doing that, that is a bold move. It's called an I will statement. So I will action. What action is it? I will work on my personal brand. I will work on my persona. Whatever it is, to activate my professional identity using my personal brand to create impact in my professional environment. So continuing your journey. So I'm going back to what Laura said earlier on. She's got a personal brand, but she's using this as a check-in to say, do I need to look at it? Is it working? Is it not working? Can I learn something new? It is all a continuous journey. And thank you for your energy today. I apologize for the lack of clarity on my screen and seeing me. But I'd love to continue the journey with you. So Liz and I are in contact. We met in Amsterdam. Liz was at my workshop at the European Women in Tech. I offer masterclasses, workshop, one-on-one sessions, group programs.
Thanks to Carolyn Brand for presenting and to you for joining us. See you next time.